Hello, my beautiful people. It's another beautiful day, or you could say beautiful, not so beautiful day. And what I mean by that is the rain literally just fell. Even the grass is wet, and I could literally feel raindrops falling on me right now. But nevertheless, I still decided to come out here and make this video because I really do think it's a very important video and one that I've been contemplating for a very long while. And to some degree, it might be, you could say a sensitive video because I'm probably gonna say some stuff that might not resonate or connect with a lot of people, or it might offend a lot of people. But nevertheless, the truth has to be spoken. So, what I wanted to talk about today was what is it going to truly take to heal the world, right? Now, we can pretty much look around us, even a blind person can literally look around us and see that the world is not in a good place at this moment. See that to some degree, the world is, you could say, even broken, right? And I think people have different opinions on what the world truly needs at this point in time, right? Some people think, the world needs political reform, new laws, etc. Some people think the world needs to know more about God and religion, right? The world needs to be more religious. Some people think that the world needs more social movements, right? You know, different systems. We have different opinions on what the world truly needs to heal at this point in time, right? But I've been thinking about it, and none of those things that I truly mentioned are really going to heal the world. None of them. And what it's going to take to truly heal the world is love, is compassion, is empathy, is understanding, right? That's what it's going to take to truly heal the world. Starting with ourselves, starting with us individually, right? See, people look at the world and they sort of believe that the world is how it is because of only the people at the top, right? That's what a lot of us think. But the truth is this: the world is how it is because of the collective consciousness of everyone in this world, right? And what I mean by that is just as how our state of being and our consciousness creates our own individual life that we live, right? Our state of being creates what we see externally in our life. In this same way, our collective consciousness, our collective state of being is literally creating our world to this day, right? Collectively, we are creating the world that we see around us, right? All the crime, all the violence, you know, all the conflicts that we see, you know, everything is being created by us collectively. And I feel like most people in this world, very few people in this world can say they're at peace. Very few people in this world can say they're happy. Very few people in this world can say they love themselves. Very few people in this world are living in peace internally. Most people are living in fear. Most people are living in anxiety. Most people are living in self hatred, right? And hatred for others. Most people are living in insecurity. Most people are living in self doubt, right? And all those things collectively is creating the world around us, literally, right? And so the best thing that you can do, the best thing every single one of us can do is to first heal ourselves, is to first love ourselves, is to first get to a place in which we are at peace before we can transform the world, right? Because the truth is this: you can never truly impact the world, or you can never truly change the world if you haven't made change within yourself, right? It's kind of like your house is not in order, your house is messy, and then you're going out into the world and trying to clean up the world, all you're going to do is going to make more mess. You have to start with you first. We have to first look at ourselves and make sure that internally we are, walking in love and we are at peace. Because if we're not, we're only going to keep creating more problems in the world, right? A lot of our systems, a lot of us, a lot of our, our religions, a lot of our what you might call it, social groups and social movements, these things are not operating from a place of love. They're not operating from a place of compassion and empathy, right? There's a saying, and I don't know who said this specifically, but it says, the right tool in the wrong hands becomes the wrong tool, right? And in this same way, any system that you have, any movement that you have, is useless unless the people within that system are operating from the right place. Our political system is useless unless the people within that system are operating from the right place, from a place of love, from a place of understanding, from a place of compassion. Your religion, and this is probably going to offend a lot of people, but your religion is useless if the people within that religion are not operating from a place of love. Your social movement and all these different systems that we're putting in place are useless unless the people are operating from a place of love. They're absolutely useless. And I think, even when it comes on to, even these social movements, a lot of these people truly are not operating from a place of love. They are operating from a place of hatred, from a place of anger. And that's not going to solve anything, right? It's not going to fix a damn thing. We have to start with ourselves first. We have to start with us first. With us, ourselves. We have to heal ourselves first before we can go out into the world and truly impact the world. Our state of being initially is the most important thing. And unfortunately, I think a lot of us are not focusing on ourselves internally first. We're trying to rearrange the world, we're trying to change the world first without making change within ourselves. It starts with us. It truly does start with us, right? I think it was Meister Eckhart, I think Aristotle said it as well, that we need to focus more on who we're being rather than what we're doing, right? Because if you're not operating from the right place, then how can you truly ever, make the right choices, right? I feel like whenever we get to a place internally in which we embody peace, in which we embody love, in which we embody compassion and all these things, I think then our actions and our decisions sort of become a reflection of what we hold within, right? Because you have to understand, whatever you hold inside you always finds a way to project into the world, right? And if you're holding in hatred, then ultimately you're only going to project hatred onto the world. If you're holding in fear, ultimately your fear is only going to project into the world, right? And we've seen so many times in history in which people have sort of tried to make change, right? Let's say certain political leaders have tried to make change, but they were not operating from the right place. I guess you could say that their intention was in the right place, in the sense that deep down they wanted to make change, but because their state of being was not in the right place, their vision and their eyes were sort of clouded, right? Clouded by fear, clouded by hatred, clouded by anger, and nothing is gonna come from that, right? And once you realize that, begin to realize that it truly starts with our state of being, individually and collectively. If you look at the world right now, right, you know, we've had countless political systems. We've had countless different laws. We've had countless religions, right? There are thousands of religions in this world. We've had thousands social movements, right? We've had all these things, and none of them are truly, making any significant change, right? We can't look around us and say, or the world is somewhat better because of these things. Like we can't truly say that. I'm sure they've made certain impact, right? I'm sure we've had systems and people who have truly impacted the world. But I think one person isn't going to significantly make that change. I think if we all just work on ourselves, work to get to a place of love, work to get to a place of understanding and compassion, I think collectively that's when the world is going to shift. Collectively, that's when the world is truly going to change, right? And I think I was thinking about this the other day, and I was saying that what constitutes a golden age, isn't even certain innovations, isn't even certain political systems. I think what creates a golden age is a shift in the collective state of being of the people within a certain society, right? I think the only way we're going to see a golden age in which crime and violence and hatred and all these things, racism and all these things begin to sort of subside and go away is if we shift internally collectively, right? Because you can put up all the systems, you can have all the inventions, right? And our society is definitely getting more innovative by the day. You can put up all these things, but none of it truly matters if our state of being is in the right place, right? So truly never underestimate the power of healing yourself. Never underestimate the power of getting to a place of self-love. Is getting to a place of peace, right? Never truly underestimate that. Because the moment you heal yourself, the moment you begin to love yourself, you begin to sort of heal a part of the world as well, right? We're always creating the world with our state of being. Our state of being is literally creating the world that we live in unknowingly, right? And so once you begin to realize that you have to first work on yourself first before you can go out into the world and make a significant change, right? A lot of people, I'm sure, are going to watch this video and probably say that, I'm just talking bullshit, even if we all come to a place in which, collectively we're at peace, collectively we love ourselves, right? And we can truly begin to love others. A lot of people are going to say that the people at the top still hold the power, right? And I'll say this to those critics, right? And to that critic, we are much more powerful than the people at the top, right? People, in a sense, feel as if they're powerless. Most of us feel as if we hold no power in this world without realizing that we hold a lot more power than the people at the top. If the people in the middle or at the bottom could get to a place in which we're operating from the right state of being, then the people at the top would have no choice but to sort of, I guess, make necessary changes. Or the people at the top, in a sense, wouldn't hold as much power as they do now, right? But because a lot of people are sort of not in the right space of mind and state of mind, because most people are bombarded and inhibited by fear and self-doubt and all these things, and they feel powerless, we've sort of given our power away to the people at the top. But the moment you begin to change and you begin to shift and your state of being becomes that one that embodies love and peace and all these things, the people at the top hold no power. They hold no power. We have the power to take this world back. We have this power to change this world, right? To take the world out of the hands of the people at the top. But because we go to the world and we feel powerless, because we go to the world and we sort of feel inadequate, we've given away our power to those people. You have to understand that we, the masses, we, the collective, we hold the power. And if we were to get ourselves in the right state of being today, trust me, this world will truly begin to change, right? Change starts with us first. Change initially is an internal thing that we have to do within. You can't change the world and make change in the world if you first haven't made change within yourself, right? Internal change is truly the most important thing. And I think a lot of us, we're so stuck blaming our system. They're so stuck, blaming, political systems and certain laws and, certain leaders, etc., etc. And don't get me wrong, like I said, you know, they're truly impacting the world to some degree. But then I think if we're always trying to attribute blame externally, then we never truly take the time to go within internally, right? We never truly take the time to look at ourselves, right? We really don't. I think the moment you attribute blame, you sort of give your power away. But the moment you begin to take responsibility for your life, I think that's when you regain your power again, right? I can sort of sit here on this video and talk about, sort of all the things that I've been through and I've seen people in my life go through. And I can sort of find an external thing to blame, and that's an easy thing to do. But what would that solve, right? What change would that make me continuously blaming something external, right? Once I take the time and reflect and see how I can make change within myself and within my life, me, right? That's when I truly begin to regain my power. And I think we have to get to a place in which we begin to do the same thing, in which we begin to self reflect and introspect and sort of realize that we hold the power. We hold so much more power than we realize, both individually and collectively. We hold so much more power. But we've spent thousands of years, hundreds of years giving that power away, not thinking for ourselves, right? Not, you know, moving based on our intuition and based on our internal guidance system, right? I think a lot of us are always sort of looking for a savior, looking for someone to be the one that makes change in this world, right? And makes change in our lives, right? And I think if you're always looking for a savior, then you're always susceptible to certain influence, right? But you have to understand that you are your own savior. You have to understand that you hold the power to change your life, and we hold the power collectively to change this world. Sure, someone can come into the world and sort of make a certain impact, and we've seen that, so many times before. We've seen Jesus. People might say Gandhi. In the black community, you have Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all these people. But then we still see that the world has not really changed significantly. And that's because collectively, all of us, we have to make that change or that shift internally first. We have to take responsibility for our lives. We are the ones that have to. Because if we don't, the world is only going to be in this same place and in this same position. Change starts within us first. To truly heal the world, it begins with healing yourself. To get to a place in which this world embodies love, we have to first get to a place in which we embody love first. To get to a place in which this world embodies compassion, we have to be compassionate within. To get to a place in which this world embodies understanding, and that's very needed in this world, right? A lot of us, we truthfully don't understand not only ourselves but each other, and that's a big problem in this world, right? If there's no understanding, there can be no peace. If we can't look at our neighbor and try to understand them, there can be no peace. If our heart is always filled with hatred, resentment, and this need for revenge and vengeance, then there can be no change in our world, right? All of those things are internal states of being that we first have to embody individually, collectively, before our world can begin to reflect that. The true change and true healing in this world is something that starts within, starts with us. Don't underestimate the power of healing yourself. Don't underestimate the power of getting yourself to a place in which you embody love, you embody peace. Never do that. Because the moment you get to a place in which you feel love within, the moment you heal yourself, you heal an aspect of the world. It starts with you, starts with us, right? Individually and collectively. But until we change, we can never truly see change in our world, right? It starts with us. So yeah, that's it. Want to come out here and say this. And I don't expect a lot of people to agree. Um, that's something that we have to open our eyes, and even beyond our physical eyes, we have to open our hearts to receive it and to truly see that we're the ones creating, this mess of a world. And that's because, internally, we're living in a mess. And until we, fix here our home, right? The world is still our home, but this is our first home. Until we make change in here, until we heal within here, then we can never truly heal the world, right? And those who are open to this message will truly understand what I'm saying. Healing starts with us first, and then the world will begin to shift to reflect the healing that we've made within. Because this world, right, is always being created by our collective consciousness and what we embody on a collective level. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, take time to enjoy life. Take time to truly prioritize your healing, prioritize your love, prioritize your peace. Because that's the only way we can truly make a change in this world. And when we truly begin to prioritize our own healing, our own love, that's when the world will truly begin to reflect the change that we've made within. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here with me. See y'all in the next one. Peace and blessings.